Hello BookTube, Sarah here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with a Friday Reads. So happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. It is May the 5th, and happy Revenge of the Sith Day. Is that what it is for Star Wars? I don't know. I heard on the radio this morning, and my husband mentions it every year. Yesterday was Star Wars Day, May the 4th, and I know that the Kindle Daily Deal yesterday, one of them, was like 20 Star Wars graphic novels were on sale, so my husband thought that was just fantastic, and he grabbed a whole bunch of them. But yeah, so, I don't know, if you celebrate Cinco de Mayo, happy Cinco de Mayo. So, what am I reading this weekend? I am right now about halfway through, sorry, just give me half a second here. You'd think I'd be more prepared. I'm about halfway through The Night is Watching by Heather Graham. This is book 9, I think, in the Crew of Hunters series. This one is, they're all historically based in a way that it's, you know, ghosts of the past that are helping or hindering, whatever the case may be. This one takes place in the Wild West, well, what is now, well, Arizona in modern day. A small town, they said, between Tombstone and Phoenix, I think. And it kind of bills itself as a ghost town, and it gets a lot of tourists, and there's this really old theater from the days of the Wild West, and someone has found a skull in the theater, and the story's kind of going from there. It's really good, but it's not as historical as like the last one that I read, if that makes sense. They're not delving as much into the history of that time period. I guess because it's not in a real location, like the town's called Lily, Arizona, which I don't believe actually exists. So it's a made-up town, but they're getting into the made-up history of that town, but not a lot into the stagecoach robberies and Jesse James and stuff like that, which is a period of history I'm very interested in. But I am really enjoying this one. Like I said, I'm about halfway through it, and it's creepy, guys, like really creepy. That's the one thing I'm giving this story. This is one of the creepier ones that I've read in a while, and I'm really enjoying it. So, like I said, I'm about halfway through it, so I should definitely get that one done, probably even tomorrow. So the next book I plan on reading after that is The Songbird's Call by Rachael Herron. This is the second book in the Songbirds of Darling Bay series, which is a contemporary romance series about three sisters who used to be a country music singing group, and then there was something in the family that split them all apart, and they all kind of went their separate ways, and now they're all slowly coming back home and, you know, rebuilding their lives. So the first story was about I think the oldest sister, Adele. This is the second story. I think her name is Molly or Leah. It's one of the sisters. I can't remember which, sorry. But I have the third book that was, that I got from NetGalley that I'm hoping to read next month. So we shall see. But yeah, so then this one will be next. And I am listening to an audiobook. I am still waiting for the 2 books that it said I was next in line for. And I'm like, oh, I should get them any day. Well, I didn't realize that being next in line potentially means that somebody just borrowed one of them, which means it could be like 3 weeks before I get, you know, that audiobook. So I really, really wanted an audiobook to listen to. I'd been listening to my podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, audio podcasts, but those I tend to listen to while I'm getting ready for work in the morning, because you're paying attention, but you're not 100% paying attention. Like, they're short enough that I can usually get through one in the morning as I'm getting ready, like putting on my makeup and making my lunch and my breakfast and stuff like that in the morning. But then on the way to work and back, I do like having an actual ebook to listen, or an audiobook to listen to. So what I did was I went, what I love about Overdrive is that you have the option to put stuff on a wish list. So, you know, you can add a ton of books, ebooks and audiobooks to that. And then you can go through it and pick like what's available. So you can just see what's available. And it's fantastic. So I did that, and I kind of scrolled through, and I came across this one. Now, this book is actually a reread for me, but I really loved it when I read it in physical book format. I'm loving the audio even more, I think. And that is The All-Girls Fill-In Station's Last Reunion by Fannie Flagg. I read this about 2 years ago in print book format. This narration is actually narrated by Fannie Flagg, and it's fantastic. I just love this story. It's a great historical fiction novel. It goes back and forth between historical and modern day. And it's about a woman who's in her late 50s, early 60s, and without giving away too much of the plot, she finds out she's adopted. And the entire life that she had for 60 years, not as a lie, but it's not, she grew up thinking that she was part of this old Southern family, and then suddenly finds out that no, she's the daughter of a Polish girl from Wisconsin. And then it goes back and forth to her mother, her mother's time, and how her mother was a pilot in World War II, and, you know, with all the all-female pilots that they had. Now, I read a book not very similar to this, but along those same lines last year called, it's completely escaping me right now. I will put the title of it right here. It's on the tip of my tongue, do you know what I mean? But it was the same idea. It was a historical novel about those same women pilots. And I really, really thought this was interesting because I didn't realize this was a thing. I didn't realize that historically, you know, there were females that flew in World War II. Yeah, they weren't in combat necessarily in, you know, in Europe, but they flew in the U.S. and they, like, moved planes around and they, you know, stuff like that. And it's a piece of history that's just now coming to light because I believe that these women over the last few years are now actually being recognized by the U.S. Is it Army? I'm sorry, I don't know the branches of the military. Navy is on the boats, the Army, and, see, again, it's escaping me. Whatever it is, they're now being recognized. And, I mean, a lot of them have now passed away, but still, it's just amazing. It is an absolutely amazing piece of history, and if you're not familiar with it, I totally recommend this book and the other one that I mentioned. I will actually put a link to the other book as well in the down bar below, in the description box, so you guys can check that one out too, if you're interested in checking it out. The Secrets of Flight, that's what it's called. But they're both fantastic. But this one, I'm thoroughly enjoying listening to it on audio, like I said, narrated by the author. Sometimes when you get that with fiction books, it's a little like, ooh, but no, she's doing an absolutely fantastic job, and I highly recommend it. So that is all that I'm going to be reading and listening to this weekend. But what am I going to be knitting on? Let me reach. Sorry, off camera. Okay. In a Christmas knitting bag, because it's May, I am knitting on Christmas socks, because why not? I am knitting, the pattern is called the Vanilla Latte Sock Pattern, and if you guys can see, there's kind of like these little purl stitches, so it kind of creates this neat effect on the sock, but the yarn is called Candy Cane, so that's why it's Christmassy. But yeah, I'm almost done. I've got about another 2 more inches to do. My needles are all in here. And then I do the thing, words are total. I need more coffee this morning. Clearly, people, more coffee. I do the ribbing, and then, this sock will be done and I can cast on the second sock. So that's very exciting. Yeah, so that's what I'm knitting this weekend. Now, I mentioned last week that I was going to the Knitters Festival last Saturday. Unfortunately, I didn't get any pictures. I was too busy having a good time. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just kind of get into it. And it was so crowded. Like, it was really difficult to, like, really move around and see anything. Now, I did buy a couple things. I thought if you guys would let me indulge, I will show you very, very quickly what I purchased. Actually, I'll just show you the yarn that I purchased. And I didn't get very much. I got three skeins, if you will. Sorry for the bag crinkling. But I got this yarn. Is that not awesome? So this is by a company called Gateway Fiberworks. They are Canadian. And that's the name of the yarn, the colorway name. Is it going to show up? I can't say it. I believe that is a Native American word. But this is for Canada's 150th birthday, which is this year. So they said, like, in the description, like, that's the green of the trees, and then, you know, the red of the maple leaf, and of course the white in our flag as well. And like the blue of the waters. So yeah, I had to get it because it was just so cool. And it's going to be socks. It's going to knit up really, really cool. The other skein of yarn that I got is by a company called Red Sock Blue Sock Yarn. Isn't that gorgeous? It's called Daytona. That's the colorway name. But isn't that just so pretty? I just love, this way. I love the specklies and like this bright pops of orange and the blues, and there's some purple in there. Oh, this is going to look fabulous. This, along with the next one I'm going to show you, are actually going to be part of a sweater. If you guys have been watching me for a while and you've seen that massive shawl that I'm doing with all the different colors in it, the same designer designed a sweater that mimics the same idea where you knit so much and then you blend 2 colors together, then you knit the next color. So this, along with this, is going to be part of a sweater, and I'm going to need another 2 or 3 different skeins of yarn. So it's gonna like, oh, it's so cool. So this one, this is not, like you guys are like, okay, that's yarn and a thing. This, check it out. This is like the new thing in knitting. It's, you know, the new craze, if you will, that all the kids are checking out. And this is called a sock blank. So it's literally a knitted, like my mom joked, she's like, it could be a scarf. And I'm like, absolutely, could totally just be a scarf, right? Not long enough, but still. But what you do is, so then the dyer like gets it blank, like it's got no color to it, it's just plain yarn, and then they dye it. And this one she did like almost like a tie-dye on it, and it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Do you see? It's got sparkles in it, so it's sparkly. And the color is called Sour Peaches, which are those like little sour peach candies. So what you do with this is, you see the little marker thing right there? So what you would do is you would take that off, and then you'd start pulling, so essentially ripping it out. And as you're pulling it out, you're knitting with it. Isn't that neat? I just thought it was kind of fun, and I saw it, and I thought it was so pretty, so I decided to get it. So yeah, so that was my big stash from the Knitter's Fair. I was very, very good. I took cash. I only spent what I had, and yeah, I had a really great time. So, I hope I'm keeping this a little bit shorter than I usually do on my Friday reads. I'm sorry they're a little bit long, but I find that these are the videos that I can just sit and chat with you guys, which I just love doing so much. So videos coming up this week. I plan, of course, on filming on Sunday like I always do. And this week we will be doing, or I will be doing, my June pre-orders from Amazon. So all the books that I have on pre-order for the month of June will be coming, along with my first book haul for May, my May book haul part 1. I've actually not bought that many books. Now, over the last few days, I've ordered quite a number of books online, like physical books. I know, craziness, right? I really do like having nonfiction books in print book format, because they take me, not that they take me longer to read because they're more dense, but with the nonfiction books, like the one I'm still actually reading, the Victorian Women's Guide, the one by Teresa O'Neill, what is it called? If you guys follow me on Goodreads, you've seen it, Unmentionable. That has taken me over a month now to read, but the reason is because those ones I tend to read before I go to bed at night. I don't cart around a physical book with me anymore. I take my e-reader everywhere. And, you know, like, if I'm tired at night, I might only get 5 or 10 pages read. So for me to spend $20 some odd on a physical book, that takes me over a month to read. That's not a big deal, in my opinion. Whereas, and like, the books that I tend to read on my Kindle, you know, my everyday, my TBR reads, I can finish those in 2 or 3 days. I can't spend $20 or even $10. You know, sometimes it's really hard with some of the pre-orders, that oftentimes, even when I show you guys the pre-orders, sometimes I will go back and remove it as a pre-order, like cancel the order and just put it on my wish list and wait to see if it falls in price, because unless I absolutely have to have it right then and there, which most of the time isn't the case because you're not getting to it right away anyway. Anyway, whole long ramble, I apologize. Those are the videos that are coming out this week, and I hope you guys enjoy them. But anyway, I'm going to go and finish my coffee this morning and make my lunch for work and head out the door. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, and take care and happy reading. Bye, guys.